Welcome back. 2-0 Manchester United. As you can see, as it stands, they'd be up to 64 points. Remember, they only need 1 point to guarantee, after a 2-year absence, that Champions League football is coming back to Old Trafford. What a half that was for your former club, Berber.
Oh, my God. What a start of the game. Unbelievable. And if, as a player, as a manager, you want the game to start this way. You have an early goal, you calm the nerves down a little bit, and then you start and continue to play the way you start the game, and you get another one. I mean, the first half is greatly controlled by United. They had the good chances to score. They scored 2 goals. Of course, the game is not finished yet. But for the moment, if they continue like this, I think they'll get the win.
Marius Cunha has 3 in his last 4. A little bit of a help with a deflection in the end to open the score after just 6 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? It's a very similar start to their last game, Steve, against Brentford. 2-0 up at half-time, and of course Michael Carrick then changed the tactics at half-time, changed personnel as well. I don't think he's going to do it this time, because I don't think Liverpool are threatening too much for him to think, oh, we need to tighten things up. But this goal in particular, it's a good start. Manchester United definitely the better team from the start. He has one bite at the cherry. They circle the box there, Berber, as well, don't they, with 3 players. So it's very hard for Liverpool to clear the ball. Andy Robertson's header was quite weak, and he gets a second bite at the cherry, and as you can see, the deflection off McAllister.
Yeah, I think great positioning on the edge of the box. This way you anticipate the ball, and if it's dropping your feet, the result is a goal probably most time of not. If you ask me, a bit of scrappy goal, but still a goal that United needed early in the game.
And just to clear up, it was checked, those players in offside position, not in the clear line of the goalkeeper's vision. The second goal was checked as well. I mean, Benjamin Šeško, what a run he's having since Ruben Amorim left the club.
Yeah, absolutely. He is, and he's playing well. He's making himself a bit of a nuisance, and he's getting in good positions. I love the way he times his runs. You can see there, he just slows down his run to stay onside. I thought at the time, is there a little bit of contact there? Is it a penalty? He stays down, but then all of a sudden gets back up. Virgil van Dijk loses his man here, and he gets the goal side, and I was wondering, was that handball? Did it come off his arm or his hand? Van Dijk, I don't know, could he have gone with the runner? Once he gets back in, he's actually got everything under control again. Šeško's in his sight. He gets him, he gets goal side of him again. Now that's Virgil van Dijk's man now, lets him go again. It's poor defending.
But if you look closely from start to finish, where Manu anticipate the ball, and then it starts the counter-attack for United. Pass, move, up until the end, where the goal again, maybe you can say it's a bit lucky, a bit scrappy goal, but up to this point, the attack of United had everything you want from this side.
And this was no conclusive evidence to 100% say that was the use of the hand.
Come on, Steve. We don't even need to talk about this. It's a goal, right? It's a goal.
But don't have a go at me. I'm just relaying the message from the PGMO, that's all.
Yeah, I think
for what it's worth, I agree with you.
That's exactly the right word, isn't it? It's inconclusive. Some people will say, oh, I can see a little bit. There's no conclusive evidence there to say it has touched the hand. So in that case, you've got to give the goal. And
incredibly for Benjamin Šeško, since Ruben Amorim left the club, the joint most goals in the Premier League from any player. That is from some resurgence. And you've noticed down the right-hand side, Liverpool just haven't been able to cope with Manchester United.
Well, Manchester United have been doubling up. I mean, Bruno Fernandes does like sort of drifting into that area a lot of the time. We saw it with the goal before. We see it here again. But a lot of the time they're doubling up on Andy Robertson. Of course, Mbeumo's position is out there, so he's always out there. But then the likes of, Dalot in this situation, the likes of Bruno Fernandes drifting in, there's been 50%, half of their attacks out of each third have come down this side. Look at that. Bruno Fernandes involved in the build-up, and then he sprints into this channel. It's an area that they're targeting. It's an area that they're very successful in. They've got speed in that area, obviously with Dalot backing it up as well. It's given Andy Robertson a bit of a problem down there.
Indeed, and Manchester United will hope that that continues in the second half. They are 2 goals to the good against the team. Remember, they've beaten just twice in 13 attempts. Well, Michael Carrick's seen this fixture many times as a player and as an away fan. His first experience as a manager is one he's enjoying. Arne Slot's the one with the talking to do. His depleted Liverpool have it all to do at 2 down. As weeks go, for one of their own, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, it's a fairy tale for him because academy player, moving up the ranks, playing. He had his difficult moments with the previous manager, but now again, fully reborn, and today he showed exactly why he's playing every minute, every game. He's been fantastic.
And he's shown a lot of mental strength in that period under the previous manager as well, didn't he?
Well, it must have been really difficult for a young player like him to not even get a look in. I mean, he wasn't even getting brought on half the time, and certainly not starting. So
Better than player to score the winner at the Stratford end at home to Liverpool on Sunday. As weeks go, for one of their own, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, it's a fairy tale for him because academy player moving up the ranks, playing. He had his difficult moments with the previous manager, but now again, fully reborn. And today he showed exactly why he's playing every minute, every game. He's been fantastic.
And he's shown a lot of mental strength in that period under the previous manager as well, didn't he?
Well, it must have been really difficult for a young player like him to not even get a look in. I mean, he wasn't even getting brought on half the time, and certainly not starting. So it would have challenged him, and actually probably strengthened him as well for the future, knowing that this is what can happen. But I really like you. I mean, you use the word mental. I love his mentality. You know, just in his interview there, he's very calm and cool and understand, and even the way he plays is he's not an emotional play. You know, I just like him. I mean, there can't be many players in midfield, certainly many English players playing as well as him now in the Premier League. He's one of the best players in the Premier League in his position at the moment. It's been an incredible season, or second half of the season for him, and you can only see now his career really flourishing. He's been given a long-term contract. He's integral part of that team and the manager's plans. I can just see things going from strength to strength, and he could develop into... He's already a very, very good player, but he could develop into a top-class one.
Yeah, and he's still only 21, just turned, let's not forget. What he said there about Michael Carrick, not just him, but all the team, we'd do anything and die on the pitch for him.
Well, that speaks volume of what Michael Carrick has done for the team. When you have players speak so highly of you as a manager, it shows that you transform the team and you know how to give your message to the players and they can put it onto the pitch, which is great because this is exactly what United needed after the start of the season, and they were not performing well. So it's credit again to the training staff and Michael Carrick to put that belief into the player, and the words of Kobe Mainu, you know, it's a proof that the right thing are happening in the team right now.
He was due a goal. He said that himself. He could do with increasing his numbers. Only 4 Premier League goals in his career. 2 of them have now come against Liverpool, his first for almost 2 years. And you enjoyed this finish, didn't you? Yeah,
it was, again, using the word cool, calm, it was placed. It was, you know, he knew exactly what he was doing. You don't need to blast it. You don't need to just think of hitting the ball straight and down the keeper's throat, hitting the target or what. No, that is a lovely controlled finish into the corner. Goalkeeper, if you execute this properly, then the goalkeeper gets nowhere near it. You score every time. Too many people think it's just about hitting the ball and hitting it on target and smacking the leather off the ball. It's not. This is cool, calm. He places it. You've got so much room there. If you just keep your head down, keep your knee over the ball and punch it down into the ground with the side of your foot, you get enough pace on it with the side of your foot. He meant absolutely everything about that finish, right into the corner, impossible to save.
Someone like your good self would sincerely appreciate that, Berber.
No, I did, and in his case, he started the attack, he finished the attack, calm, collected, he was following the play, the movement of the ball, he didn't rush, he was timing his positioning correctly, and in the end, the ball ended up in his feet. As Michael said, he doesn't necessarily need to hit with so much power sometimes, just inside of the boot, and he's going to do the job.
He got the Man of the Match award everywhere, of course. The second half, you've picked out some examples of just his overall play.
Yeah, his overall contribution was very good. Of course, you know, listen, you're playing in a really tough position, lots of players around you, so inevitably you'll give the ball away sometimes. But he's so neat, he reads the game well, he's got a lovely bit of skill when he needs it. He's sniffing out danger, like we just saw there. You know, again, reading the play, winning the play. You know, that doesn't get too much credit sometimes, but, you know, simple things like this, a little 1-2, I mean, he can do everything, really. You know, he's an asset when he hasn't got the ball, with the team out of possession, and when he's in possession, he's got an eye for a pass, his weight of pass is very good, he's got lovely skill. I mean, we've We've seen that on numerous occasions. And he can score a goal, even though he needs to just add that to his game a little bit more, because we can see he can do it. So he's just got a little bit of everything. He's the all-round midfielder.
Yeah. We mentioned his past issues, or the manager's past issues with him, and in terms of his mental test. Look at these numbers and the transformation since Michael Carrick walked through the door that, of course, has resulted in that new 5-year contract he was talking about there, and the Ruben Amorim this season. There were 11 games. He didn't start any of them. He played just 212 minutes. 13 under Michael Carrick, started every one and completed virtually every one as well. I just wonder, you know, because managers lose jobs, go away, reset, recharge, reflect, Berber. Yeah. Nobody knows the answer to this, but I just wonder wherever he's watching that today, Ruben Amorim, whereas he actually thinks to himself, I actually got that one wrong.
He must be, right? Looking at the numbers and thinking, maybe I did that wrong. Maybe I needed to give him more chance to play, because he's proving him wrong right now. And you're just wondering sometimes how football can be cruel game, unfair game, because you never know who your manager can be. And in an instant, maybe he doesn't like you. Maybe he doesn't like you how you play. You give everything, but you still don't play, like I think it was the case with Kobe Mainoo. And now he's back into the team. Now I think he's out for vengeance in a way, to prove not only his former manager, but the people who doubted him, look, I was a bit forgotten, but now I'm back. I believe in myself. I have the qualities, and he showed it on the pitch. The way he plays with that swagger and confidence, I mean, it's a joy to watch. And of course, he's 21. Hopefully, he has so much room to grow and become even better, because he's in the right place at the right time. And the cherry on the top was the contract that he extended the other day.
That's the bonus for Manchester United as a club, I guess, that it happened soon enough that he hadn't gone in the January, because that was the talk that if Ruben Amorim had stayed in the job, he was leaving the football club.
Imagine it. Imagine that. Imagine Manchester United, this moment.
Since the age of 6, he's been there.
Exactly. You've
fan.
Brought somebody through the ranks. He's not only a great footballer, he's a great person. You know, Manchester United runs through his veins. Imagine seeing him in a different kit playing again and putting in these types of performances. All that work that you've done. And fans dream of that. Fans dream of having players that have come through the ranks. It's beyond comprehension that a manager and one person's decision can almost mean the end of a career for somebody at a particular club. But it happens regularly, and it was probably that far off happening this time as well. So, you know, a lucky escape maybe for Manchester United, and of course moving Amorim on and keeping Mainoo, you know, for the future looks like they kept the right one.
Great day for Kobe Mainoo and for Manchester United. For Liverpool, that is an 11th Premier League defeat of the season, defending the Premier League trophy. Let's get some reaction from their captain, Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil, what's your reaction to that? It's a brave fight back from Liverpool, but no points in the end to show for it.
A brave fight, yeah. Well, I think when you come back from 2-0 down, of course that's a positive, but it's losing here that hurts, obviously, and the manner we did as well, I think. So disappointing day again.
Why do you think the first half was so tough?
Obviously, when you come 2-0 down, obviously it's always tough. Obviously, the first on the set piece, the other one, obviously on the break. Whether it's handball, yes or no, is something to debate.
Did you think it was?
Obviously, I can't really see it that fast, but if the referee tells me that they're checking quite long for it, then I was obviously very intrigued, and I didn't see it back, but that doesn't take away that we weren't threatening whatsoever. I don't think we created actually in the first half, especially any chances. Not really runs in behind. Obviously, it was always going to be difficult without recognized strikers. But second half, obviously, we come back, obviously due to some mistakes by them. But still, the fight was there. We tried with possession, but it wasn't enough. And to concede then a ball that's on the edge of the box of a defensive action, I think, and that's obviously disappointing.
What was said at half-time?
Well, play much better than the first half and try to score the first goal as soon as possible. And obviously that goal, the 2-1, obviously helps mentally as well. I think for them, obviously, it's a blow. And obviously, then to score the equalizer, obviously, that settles the game, and then the game can go anywhere. I think we had obviously the possession, but you can't have just possession, and you need shots on targets. You need create chances, and we didn't do that too much there.
You've obviously still got a pretty significant cushion heading into these final games to qualify for the Champions League. Is it just about now getting the job done as quickly as possible and trying to rebuild and move on to next season almost?
Yeah, that's the reality at this point. It's been a very, very disappointing season, below standards of Liverpool, and we shouldn't accept it. But it is the reality, so we have to make sure that we got Champions League football for next year, and then after World Cup we have to build to a much better season than what we're having at the moment.
Thank you, Virgil.
Thank you.
A reminder, they need 4 points from their last 3 games to be sure of being back in the Champions League again next season. 11 defeats this season. That's their worst in 11 years. Never mind as defending champions. When he says they've got to be much better next season, that's something of an understatement, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, and listen, they're the reigning champions. If you say to every Liverpool fan, Arne Slot's taken over from Jurgen Klopp and you're going to qualify for the Champions League in one season, you're going to win the league the next season, you take that. That's amazing, But it's not like Liverpool have won the Premier League dozens of times. So it's just that the here and the now is disappointing, because probably it's gone the wrong way round for Liverpool fans in many ways. Lots of injuries, lots of problems, off the pitch, on the pitch, started in the worst possible way, of course, with a horrific scenario with Diogo Jota, and there's been problem after problem after problem throughout the season for Liverpool. So back to the drawing board. I don't think it's something that necessarily another £400 million is going to solve.
What do you think would help then?
Well, I think just having a break, having a refresh, getting everybody back fit and healthy again. Of course, some of those big signings, somebody like Isak, has been a huge miss.
Can I just ask you, Arne Slot said in his pre-match interview there, we make the decision, a bit like Pep Guardiola, we don't like a big squad. We like quality rather than numbers. But when you do get this type of injury list, and you look at that bench today for a Liverpool team going to Old Trafford for a game of this magnitude, do they need more strength in depth if, as expected, they're still in the Champions League next season?
Hindsight is obviously a wonderful thing. So you would say yes in the scenario that they're in at the moment with a lot of injuries, but that will not be the case under Arne Slot, because he's already said he prefers a smaller squad, and you take your chances. Because a big squad can give you a lot of problems.
But is there enough quality and depth to those smaller numbers? That's the point I'm asking.
That's the key. That you've got to have a quality 17, 18 players, let's say. Make it up with a few kids, a few promising kids, and take your chances. If you get a load of injuries, then it's obviously a problem. If you don't, then you have a real tight-knit squad. There's not many problems in terms of leaving people out. You can give enough players enough game time, and everybody's a lot happier. Having a big bloated squad is not always the answer. That can cause as many problems as having a small squad and a few injuries. So that's the way he likes it. That's the way he's going to do it. And I've got no problem with that. Of course, you've got to keep everybody fit, and that's been a problem.
But he's got 2 obvious holes to fill in, Robertson and Salah.
He has, yeah. He's going to have to do some surgery to the team, absolutely. But, I mean, they spent an awful lot of money in the summer. So, money doesn't grow on trees at Anfield. And absolutely, there will be 1 or 2 players leaving, and they're going to have to... I mean, having spent all that money on the attack, and now with Salah going, it leaves a gaping hole. In fact, there's already less options than there were last season. I think they lost sort of 3 and brought in 2 attacking players. Rio Ngamoa's obviously come and plugged a little gap, but he's still a young lad. But on the right-hand side, that's a massive hole that they've got to fill. Is Kirkes good enough to take on the mantle? He's probably going to be given the season, but they might have to have cover there as well. People like Virgil van Dijk, they're not getting any younger. They're going to have to start thinking, and they are thinking. They've bought a couple of young players in that position. Whether Konate signs or not is another question mark. So there's a little bit of work to be done. Of course there is to the squad, but in general, I think he'll just be happy to get the majority of people fit, firing and ready to start a new season.
In terms of today, is it as simple, like Virgil van Dijk, to say that they didn't have a recognised striker, so any team would miss Salah, Ekitike and Isak?
Well, in their case, for sure, but still, when you're a good enough team with good players, you will find a way to play without that type of striker, shadow striker or false nine or whatever. And still today, Kobe Gagbo score a goal, right? So it was a good start for the second half for them. But I don't think that's an excuse in a way that you should not win games. In football, you get injuries, someone needs to step up, score goals, and then you continue with it. So in the case of Liverpool, I think they have a good squad, good players. Yes, some of their big names are getting older, or maybe Salah is leaving, but still good enough quality, especially if Isak is back, Ekitike is back. I like Florian Wirtz as well, even though he's still finding his footing. But in attack, I think they have enough quality.
Yeah, I mean, Isak's the one, isn't he? Because he's hardly been on the pitch. I mean, he almost, if he's fit and firing, he will be going to the World Cup with Sweden. He will be like a new signing, really, because Liverpool fans have hardly seen him.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's just bad luck. You know, he was scoring a goal, a bad challenge, he breaks his leg. I mean, that can happen in football. It's just bad luck. The problem is as well, though, with a long-term injury, everybody thinks, oh, he'll be back in, X time. It takes ages. It takes another month or two to get back up to real sharpness and fitness. And how many times do we see somebody that's coming back from a long-term injury? We've seen it with Rodri over the last sort of few months, just starting now to see the old Rodri. Everybody that has a big injury, it takes a little while. And the vast majority pick up another little injury along the way when they're coming back, a little hamstring or a little groin, you're out 2 or 3 weeks again. It's your muscles getting used to the rigours of it all again. So that's what's going to happen. You're not going to see Isak. If any Liverpool fan thought Isak would come back and then it'd be brilliant for the next six weeks of the season or the remaining game and then go and shoot the lights out in the World Cup, you're sadly wrong. I mean, if he can start next season in good form, having played in a World Cup or whatever, then that would be a bonus because, he's going to have to play himself. And then, of course, you've got Ekitike and torn Achilles tendon. I mean, that's a horrific injury. That's going to, I would guess he's going to be missing the start of next season as well, which is awful because he's been probably the shining light, him and Szoboszlai, all season. So, these problems might be creeping over into next season as well. But I think from Liverpool fans' point of view, everybody just wants to finish this season, get the Champions League tied up, go away, some of them to the World Cup, and then come back refreshed and firing again.
That's the crucial thing, that they haven't really got to need 4 more points, but they haven't really got a fight on their hands, a nervous one, to make sure of Champions League football next season.
For sure, but again, I will repeat myself, I think they have enough quality into the team to know how to handle the situation like this. And in the end of the day, probably they'll qualify for the Champions League football. But the most important thing while I was listening to Michael, again, comes down to when you have difficult and hard injuries, then how do you manage that? If your squad is tight, how Slot is liking it, but then how do you recover and cover for the injuries of the player? Doesn't that mean that you need a bigger squad then, a bit more, to cover for that type of injuries when it happens? So these questions need to be answered because when it happens, like Isak with Ekitike, and your squad is tight, who is going to cover for them? If you have so many games to play, if you qualify with the Champions League as well. So there is no right or wrong question probably here, like in football is, but they need to be very careful. And I agree, players need to be back for the next season, ready to fire and, go and, if they qualify, play for the Champions League, for the Premier League, because Liverpool is one of the best teams in the Premier League. So, of course, this season they will try to finish as soon as possible, hopefully qualify for the Champions League, and let's hope everybody is healthy and fit for the next season.
OK, just some news to bring you, actually, from Old Trafford today. Prior to kick-off, Sir Alex Ferguson, who's in attendance watching the game, was taken to hospital after feeling unwell. It's been reported this was only a precautionary measure. His condition is stable and he is expected to return home soon. And, of course, we all here wish Sir Alex the very best. On the managerial theme, when we come back, we will get today's manager's thoughts. Defeat for him after 3 straight wins prior to this. Plenty of problems on the injury front. Delight for him in his first experience as a manager of this fixture.